Well, hello. Today I'm going to be talking about some, I'm calling them like time-saving, healthy eating hacks, tips, things that we use that help us save time and sometimes a little bit of money while we are on our nutritional change, as Mom likes to say. She doesn't like the word diet.
Tell them
Oh,
why.
why don't you like the word diet, Mom? You tell them.
Because just like anything else, here, let me come over here. Just like anything else with an E-T-T-E in it, a kitchenette is a little bit of a kitchen, and a cigarette is a little bit of a cigar. Any of those little ettes are little bits of something, so a diet is a little bit of dying.
Okay, fair enough. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm working on a cauliflower because I'm actually going to be, productive while I'm filming this video. But, so you'll get to see one of these things in action. But I do have several, like, hacks that we use, and I've got them listed out on my computer. And I'm just going to go through basically our diet, what we eat in the day on this nutritional change, and tell you kind of how we save some time and sometimes some money eating and drinking these things. And the first thing on that list is about citrus juice. So first thing in our day is supposed to be lemon water, and I'm not gonna lie, recently we've not been making it a priority to consume a lot of citrus juice, at least I haven't. But one of the things that we've done in this house, in this family for a while, is we've been freezing citrus juice in like an ice cube tray and keeping it in the, like a Ziploc bag in the refrigerator, in the freezer in the refrigerator. So like we have this great big Ziploc bag full of lemon juice, and then I don't have to have a bowl of lemons on the counter that are gonna rot and go bad, or I don't have the risk of fruit flies living in my house because, sometimes fruit, if you don't wash it right when you get it home, sometimes stuff comes home on your fruit. And then, we can make a whole bunch at one time. I can save all the time of rinsing and cutting and juicing and then straining the fruit to put in my water when I'm ready to use it, and it's just ready to go in the Ziploc bag in my freezer all the time. So while yes, that does take some time out of my day when I buy the big bags of citrus from Sam's Club, I bring it home, I wash it all at once, and then I can juice it all at once. But then I'm set for several weeks. So it ends up saving me some time, I think, during my day-to-day life when I just want some lemon juice either to cook with or to put in my water. And then I don't have to worry about like having it fresh and ready to go in my house. Let's see, I had a bonus tip here for that one. Oh, if you measure the juice before you freeze it, so if you measure it when you're pouring it into the ice cube tray and you know that each ice cube is exactly the same size, because things tend to increase in volume, liquids tend to increase in size when they freeze. But if you know that you put exactly like 1 or 2 ounces in your ice cube and all of your ice cubes are exactly the same, then it's easy to cook with, or to put in like cocktails or something if you need a specific amount of lemon juice. Hack number 2 has to do with breakfast. So we actually didn't do this weekend. But sometimes on the weekend, Mom will make us a quiche or a frittata. And sometimes she'll make one on Saturday and one on Sunday, so we have lots of leftovers because we never eat the whole thing. So we can take the leftovers and we can refrigerate them, and then breakfast is ready to go in, the morning during the week. And we don't have to cook it, we just have to reheat it. And if I wanted to make like a breakfast sandwich and eat it on the go, I could heat it up and stick it between 2 pieces of bread or in a biscuit. But quiches are great because, and frittatas too. A frittata is like a quiche without the crust. But they're great because you can use up stuff in your fridge. If you've got a cheese that you're trying to get rid of that you bought maybe for a party or something and you just don't know what you're gonna do with it, cut it up or grate it up and put it in a frittata. If you've got some like old sandwich meat or even some old turkey, like sliced turkey from like, I don't know, Thanksgiving or Christmas that you maybe put in the freezer and you're trying to think, what can I do with it? You can warm that up and put it in your frittata, and it helps get rid of all that stuff. We did a refrigerator clean out. Was that last weekend, Mom?
Yes, it was.
And we got rid of 3 or 4 types of cheeses. We got rid of some spinach that was going bad. It was great, and the quiche was really delightful. As far as saving money on eggs recently have been kind of expensive. We've been buying the big box of like 15 dozen eggs from Sam's Club when they're in stock. And it's been saving us probably 25 to 50 cents a dozen. And we are still working through our last box of eggs that we bought, I think 3 weeks ago. But we'll need another box by the end of this week because I think we've got 3 dozen eggs left. And with Mom and Anthony and I all having 2 to 3 eggs a day, we go through a dozen eggs pretty quick. We actually saved a bunch of the paper cartons, like the egg cartons from Aldi. And so when we buy that big box of eggs from Sam's Club, we bring it home and then we put the eggs into like smaller dozen size cartons like this. So it's a lot easier for us to keep this in the refrigerator than an enormous box of eggs, but we're lucky and we've got the refrigerator out in the garage to keep the other 14 dozen eggs in. So that tip may not work for everyone, but if you've got friends or family that also eat eggs, maybe you could buy that big box and then split it amongst you. And something I was concerned about with that box of eggs from Sam's Club is I was worried they were going to be broken. I don't think we've had one broken egg yet in that box. We've been eating a salad every day for lunch and honestly, truly enjoying it. We've found a ranch dressing that we really like. We've kind of got a process worked out where I will make salads for lunch or Anthony will. And at the same time, I'm making our salads for lunch. I'll also prep one for Mom to eat as soon as she gets home. I'll put Mom's right in the fridge so when she gets home from work, she's able to just pull it out and eat it. And I think that helps because a lot of times she doesn't get a lunch break at work, but she gets to eat when she gets home, and then we'll feed her dinner too, of course. The thing about salad prep, like too far in advance, is it can be really tricky. Lettuce can rust or wilt if it's prepped too far in advance, or if you chop it like really fine. Some salad toppings can be prepped in advance though, and the one that I'm working on is our broccoli and cauliflower. And personally, I prefer it when it's chopped super fine, and I don't want to do it with a knife. So I've been doing it in my blender. This is my Ninja, and we've had this guy for a really long time. And I tried this once, like with a really small batch, and everybody really liked it. Sometimes it's hard for me to eat like a whole piece of raw broccoli in my salad because it like, I don't know, something about this in my salad is just an enormous turnoff. But when it's small enough that it mixes in with my salad, I'm able to like scoop it up. Because I eat my salad with a spoon just because stabbing lettuce that won't poke onto the tines of a fork, it gives me irrational rage and makes me not want to eat salads anymore. So I found a way of eating my salad that makes me actually enjoy the process of eating the salad, and that's with a spoon. Judge me if you want, I don't care. But when I put my cauliflower, my broccoli in the blender and I make it really small, I can scoop it up with my spoon and it doesn't make me mad when I'm eating my salad. So I'm going to show you that process because I'm actually ready to do that. I've chopped up an enormous head of cauliflower, and this is all of the like cauliflower leaves and then like the woody pieces of stem. And then my little cauliflower florets are down here. I like to cut it up so that it will go into the blender first. And I've got a bag of broccoli here that's already like what would you call that? Pre-cut? They're broccoli florets. But I'm going to do a couple of batches because this will not all fit in the blender at one time. I've got it in my blender. I'm going to turn it on just for a really short period of time. And that's it. It's a lot faster than doing it myself with a knife.
Hugely faster.
Yeah, and it comes out looking like this. I hope you can see it. Hold on. But it's finely chopped enough that, like I said, I can scoop it up with a spoon. It mixes into my salad so I don't feel like I'm just eating huge florets of broccoli. I don't know. Somehow it makes the process more enjoyable for me when everything is cut up just a little bit smaller. I'm gonna use a Ziploc bag to store it in. So I'm gonna do the cauliflower and then I'm gonna do the broccoli. And I'm actually just gonna mix it all together in the same bag. I will say I don't do this with every vegetable I have. Broccoli and cauliflower works because it'll stay fresh like this for almost an entire week. I've had it stay fresh for 5 days before, so I don't want to do so much that we can't use it all. Of course, if it starts to like go on the verge, we can cook it on the stovetop, like, because this is how you make cauliflower rice. So if I wanted to, I could make butter chicken, or actually we have butter chicken in the freezer, so I could just heat this up on the stove and I could serve this as cauliflower rice with my butter chicken. And when it, you know, if it gets toward the end of its shelf life, we may do that, but it's great for salads too. I would not recommend putting frozen cauliflower rice on your salad though. Something about the texture of frozen cauliflower rice just isn't right. I prefer the fresh stuff. So that one head of cauliflower turned into this, which I can now use on my salads this week. And that will serve Mom and Anthony and I. And we're gonna do the same thing with the broccoli. Although I'm probably gonna do less of the broccoli. I don't know. We'll see. I think we'll just do 1 blender full of broccoli today. And that's just as quick and easy as the cauliflower. So there's our bag of cruciferous vegetables for our salads this week. I'll just give that a quick stir. Some other things we put on our salads are shredded carrots, and we just get the matchstick carrots from the grocery store. They're already done, like these. Sometimes they're BOGO, but even if they're not, they're relatively cheap. And then I like to do radishes. I've got a thing for radishes. It's weird. I love them. And I will grate mine on a box grater. Like, for whatever reason, they grate really fast, really easily. I don't like doing them in advance though, because I think they're so wet, I think they'll go bad. I haven't tried it, but I'm always afraid of that possibility. Salads are a great way to get a lot of raw vegetables in, or even cooked vegetables into your diet, but protein is important too, and we've kind of been switching every week. We've been alternating between beef and chicken. For the chicken, I know they have like pre-packaged cooked diced chicken at the grocery store or at the big box store. I think it's kind of expensive. So we've been buying a rotisserie chicken and then like shredding the meat off the rotisserie chicken, because the rotisserie chicken at Sam's Club is $5 and it's typically a really large chicken, and we can get enough chicken off of that rotisserie chicken to serve the 3 of us for our salads for an entire week, which is great because you can serve 15 meals for 1 rotisserie chicken. And we're trying to measure our protein, you know, by weight. And when we do beef, we get the big tube of like the really, really big tube of ground beef from Sam's Club. The last time I got it was on sale. And then we cook it, and then or Mom sacks it up in these little pre-portioned snack bags, and then we freeze it. So when we're ready for lunch, we can just pull one of these out of the freezer and it's already portioned, which is really nice. And I guess my hack there is like doing a big batch of it and then keeping it either in the fridge or the freezer. I just think that cooking stuff for your salad every day is not realistic. I live it at home and I work from home and I don't have the time for that. And I also don't want that to be the priority in my life. So I like doing it all at once and then having it ready to go for the rest of the week so that it's not something I have to worry about. So I mentioned prepping salads too early in advance because the lettuce can rust or wilt. And what I mean by that is, like, if you're prepping a salad on Sunday for you to eat for lunch every day of the week, by the time you get to Friday, your salad's probably not going to be the best thing for you to eat. But I think if you prep like today's salad and tomorrow's salad at the same time, it'll save you time tomorrow. So I think you can prep 2 at a time. Or what I'm going to start trying to do for my own personal habit is prepping salads in the morning before I start work, because I know they'll keep until lunchtime or until Mom gets home from work for her to eat hers. My biggest tip here is don't dress your salad until you're ready to eat it. Keep the cuts of your lettuce a little bit bigger to keep them fresher longer. And if you need to cut it down a little bit smaller like I do, you can just do that when you're ready to eat it. I think when I pour the salad dressing on my salad and then I cut my lettuce, it actually helps to mix that dressing into. But putting dressing on a salad and then, like, say you're at a restaurant, you dress your whole salad and then you try to take the salad home, it never keeps very long because the dressing's already on the salad and that lettuce will start to wilt really quickly. All right, let's talk about dinner. We've been keeping it really, really simple with basically just chicken and broccoli, but it doesn't have to sound as boring, or it doesn't have to be as boring as it sounds. I like to change up the seasoning for this, and I've actually made like I've called it a spicy chicken dip. It's not really a dip, but I put it on the chicken before I bake it and before I put the seasoning on. And I think it helps keep the chicken from drying out and it gives an extra little bit of flavor. And it's mayonnaise, Dijon mustard, and hot sauce, and it's really, really tasty. And I think it's like 1-to-1 ratio of the mustard to mayonnaise and then like hot sauce to taste. But then the seasonings that I put on the chicken I think are the most exciting part. So we've got, I've got just 3 favorites here, but we've got the McCormick all-purpose seasoning, garlic and onion, black pepper, and sea salt. So this one's like a crunchier, larger cut of like garlic, you can see. I like this one, especially on the broccoli. I think it's really good. Then we have the 4 6's ranch tested cowboy approved Taylor Sheridan's original cowboy seasoning. This one's a little bit spicier. I really like it. Anthony really likes this one. We've been getting these at Sam's Club. This is the first time we've had this one. And this one is such a favorite. They stopped selling it at Sam's Club. We had to buy it online. But I bought 4 of them, so we won't be out for a little while. And this is the, I think it's Kinder's red jalapeno garlic. This one is so good. It's a little bit spicy maybe, but it is definitely my favorite for chicken and for broccoli. With the broccoli, I'll just use the like florets, toss them in oil, and then coat them in this. And then I put them in my countertop oven. Because this is my favorite thing right now, because I can cook dinner in that in 20 minutes. So I put the broccoli in first and I let it cook for about 10 minutes, and then I do the chicken. And I've got some hacks that I want to share for the chicken. We've been buying the great big flat of chicken breasts from Sam's Club. And not only is it like an enormous package of chicken, but I think that the chicken inside the package is enormous too. So like 1 chicken breast will serve probably 3 people. So the last time we got it, we had kind of an operation that went on. Mom like cut the chicken breasts long ways and then pounded them flat, and I layered them between plastic wrap. You want to come help me talk about this? Because this was your idea.
I was going to say if you want to do some. It's messy and noisy though.
Yeah. Well, I have one here, but I had like a cookie sheet that I was laying plastic wrap on, and as she was pounding the chicken flat, I was arranging them on the plastic. And then we layer more plastic on top of the chicken. And then, did we do wax paper between the layers? Parchment paper?
We did something between them, because you know sometimes even though they're not touching, they can like have little things that...
They'll stick together.
Yeah.
But we froze them on the cookie tray.
And then cut them apart.
After they were frozen, we cut them apart and we put them in a Ziploc bag. So they're already sliced,
ready to go.
and pounded. So all I have to do when I'm ready to make dinner is let them defrost and season them, and they're ready to go.
And because they're pounded flat, they defrost pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it's been in the 60s in this house because we haven't really had the heat on during the day. And if I get them out at 4 o'clock, they're defrosted and ready to cook by the time Mom gets home, 4:30, 5 o'clock.
I think it was a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Because for a little bit of time on the front end, it saves us a lot of time on the back end.
Because you only have the cleanup of the chicken germs the one time. And you've already got your chicken ready to go. And we did that one time, and it served us dinner for 3 weeks.
Because you need, what, 4 to 6 ounces of chicken is a serving of chicken.
Right, yeah. 4 to 6 ounces, palm size, is a serving of protein. And so this, when it cooks down, is gonna be about 1 serving.
Yeah.
But I love this idea. And she was really gracious and did all the pounding. I think she had a lot of...
Did all the sawing and all the pounding. Bang, 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 bang. I worked out all my aggressions.
I was gonna say, I think she had some things to work out, but she did a great job, and I thought, you know, it would make our lives easier. Because we tried it the one time. And I thought, if it works, great, I'll talk about it. And I'm talking about it because it worked.
It was a good time saver. I'm happy with that.
The broccoli thing, I really like.
I do too, because I love the broccoli and the cauliflower in the salad.
I want to have it in my salad, but I don't want
Not a
such
big
a
hunk.
big hunk of broccoli in my salad that it soaks up all the dressing.
Yeah.
You know, and I just don't want to have to like fight with it. I hate fighting my food.
Yeah. I just want to be able to eat it.
Yeah. So thank you, Mom,
You're
for
welcome.
this hack.
You're welcome.
Oh, don't sit down. I want your expertise on my next one. So the last thing we eat in the day is usually some berries, and berries don't keep very long in the refrigerator. What is your hack for keeping them fresh?
My hack for keeping them
Yeah,
fresh? What do I do?
You rinse them in vinegar.
Well, yeah, if they're like blueberries or strawberries, I'll rinse them in vinegar, because I think if there's any mold started on it, if there's any icky stuff out of the store on it, that acetic acid, because that's what it is.
That's what vinegar is.
You know, and I don't put like straight vinegar on it. I will, you know, rinse them or put them in a water bath in a clean sink, and then I'll put a little vinegar in that water, and then I'll rinse them again. But that really does
Keep
help
them fresh for
stay
several
fresh.
days longer.
But I don't do it with berries, so I use
Like raspberries and blackberries?
what is it, the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15 or something like
don't
that.
know.
I don't know, but stuff basically that you peel before you eat it, like bananas, oranges.
No, yeah, for apples.
Yeah, that stuff, you don't have to worry so much about it being organic. It's nice for everything to be organic, but if you're cost, you know, conscious about what you're spending money on, your berries really should be, because if you put much acetic acid on them, they're going to evaporate right in front of your eyes, because that acetic acid will tear right through your raspberries and your blackberries.
Yeah.
Yeah, the skin's it's really thin on those. Those are really tender berries.
So strawberries and blueberries are good berries to rinse with vinegar.
Yep.
Blackberries and raspberries, just rinse them with water and eat them.
And if our apples are out on the counter, I like to rinse our citrus and our apples with it. Bless you! I like to rinse our citrus with vinegar.
Yeah.
And I think it really does. And then she's got a hack where she puts them in the Tupperware with like
So we rinse them and we put them in the Tupperware upside down. So let me show you. So I'll put them in the Tupperware like this. Pretend there's berries in here. And then let's say we just rinsed them so they're wet. I put a dry paper towel on top, and then I put the lid on, and then I store them in the refrigerator with the paper towel on the bottom. So then when I go to open them, I flip it back, right side up, take the lid off, and if the paper towel is wet, I throw it away and replace it with a new one. Because this is what's going to catch the water, and this is what's going to get moldy.
yeah.
So that's my tip for storing berries, and it's worked.
Yeah.
I know people
That's
are like,
great.
you can store berries in mason jars. I'm not going to do that. I don't have mason jars big enough to store raspberries in.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
And I'm a klutz. I'll break them.
She doesn't like, Mom does not like glass Tupperware, and I think it's fascinating that she doesn't like glass Tupperware. Food storage containers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever.
We're not paid by them.
We use Rubbermaid. We really like these, okay? But we also say Velcro, and I'm sure you do too, so don't get on me. But whatever. Anyway, she likes the plastic ones. So that's what we use. They're whatever. They're fine. I'm trying to think. I'm reading my list, and I had, the container tip. Yep. My next tip is don't buy anything like so far in advance. Meats and things you can keep in the freezer, great. If you find them on sale, buy them on sale and keep them in the freezer if you've got freezer space.
You don't want to keep them so long they get freezer burned. And if you think I'm going to have this for a while because, I'm buying it and I'm not going to use it for a while, then take it out of the packaging that comes from the store as close as you can, like either shrink wrap it in your own shrink wrap if you've got one of those, or wrap it with some sort of plastic wrap, and then stick that in a Ziploc bag.
Yeah. So Mom bought these country style ribs at Aldi yesterday. Was that just yesterday?
Yeah.
Wow. And the package on these is huge. You can see there's a huge gap between the plastic and the rib. If we were gonna stick these in the freezer, we're not gonna freeze them like this. She's gonna open the package and carefully wrap them up lovingly in plastic wrap, and then we'll store them that way.
One of my crazy flaws.
I don't think it's crazy.
But these we're gonna
cook these
We're gonna
tonight.
cook them, and then we'll portion them out so it will be cooked and in the freezer in smaller containers.
There's another time-saving hack. Use your crock pot.
So we're gonna cook this in a big batch, and then we'll portion it out into individual servings, or servings for like 2 or 3 people at a time, and then freeze that. Then in the morning, that can be either put in the refrigerator or it could be set out on the counter to defrost during the day, and then it's ready to go for supper that night. And so it saves us time in the evenings.
Yep. But as far as like other things go, like the lettuce, we've got it kind of worked out to a really good rhythm where we will go through 1 package of romaine lettuce and 1 box of spring mix from Aldi in about 1 week. So we buy it every Friday night, and every Friday I kill what's left. Yeah. And we may not eat a salad, you know, every day on the weekend. We may be away from the house. We might be eating junk. Who knows? But for the weekdays, Monday through Friday, we're eating really clean.
5 days a week we do really well. Maybe 6 days a week.
Because today we had wedge salads.
Yeah.
So we had blue cheese and bacon.
Yeah.
But we also ate lettuce, and we're going to have broccoli for dinner.
Yeah.
Or with dinner.
Yeah. So we're eating more healthy. And we're making that healthy eating
a
easier.
Priority. Yeah. We're trying to streamline the process. So we're eating basically the same thing every day, which may sound boring to you, but it's actually easier for us.
I know our dogs do it and they really seem to like it. They thrive on routine.
Yeah.
And the thing I like about a lot of her hacks is even if you are cooking for one, a lot of these are going to work because, you know, this individual packaging of these cooked or frozen meats are going to work. The same thing with if you get a smaller package of broccoli or cauliflower and you're going to either cook that or you're going to have that raw in your salad, that's going to last you about a week. So you can do that even if you're just cooking for one.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks. So I think that's all of the tips and healthy eating hacks that I had to share with you today. Let me know if you've got any questions. Thank you, Mom, for assisting me.
You're welcome.
And you guys will see me in another video really soon. Bye.